everything. So that is the reason till date you are focused only on reading up the technical stuff. That's well and good. You're feeding up, or you are feeding yourself with the technical knowledge, okay, to make yourself familiar with the field of SOC or cyber security. Now it's time for you to start preparing on interview skills. We have all the ammunitions right now. We have collected all the required ammunitions going up for a typical interview. Some concepts we are going to learn the technical stuff also in the upcoming days. Rest all other things, okay, you are supposed to focus on your interview preparation skills. Then only it will be helpful, or it will make sense for you to prepare on those stuff. Okay, got the point, guys?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
superb. So till date, what are the objectives of this particular RTE class? Okay, what is this particular RTE? Anyone heard of it, or any rough idea on this particular part? Any random guessing? RTE, real time exposure.
RT is
Data.
yeah. So RT like real time exposure. It clearly means like you will be providing us some hands on experience, like what actually actual work you have to do when as a SOC analyst. Maybe you are going to show that.
Okay.
So that's a real time exposure. Basically, what SOC analysts do in regular day to day basis, or like what are the issues. Maybe you are going to showcase us some real time issues.
No, there is nothing called as real time issues on that part, right?
Hands on experience kind of thing.
No. What else is required for hands-on experience? There is nothing called as hands-on experience over here, right? Because on an everyday, security analyst will come and just open their SIM solution, point for triggering a typical alerts, and they have something called as other analysis tools. It might be like ticketing tool they will be having, or else it might be endpoint security tool and their mailbox. Only these tools will be there, right? So you already have that clear picture. So in the analysis part, you know what you are going to do with the ticketing tool, or else in the SIM tool, how you're going to trigger a particular alert, or how you're going to monitor the typical alerts. Once the alert is triggered, how are you going to analyze it? You have read upon, right? So when you are read upon all those things, it's time for correlating all those things in a typical SOC environment. Okay, so a part of your answer is right, probably right. So basically, in this particular RT part is all about bringing you closer towards the reality. Okay, so moreover, most of the times, what will happen is all about, instead of making you familiar with all those stuff, okay, because ultimately if I show to an excellent level also, once you go on, or once you do with a hands-on experience, then only you will know what is the real problem, or you'll get a better understanding once you are done with hands-on practice itself, right? For example, if I show you how to drive a car just by a video, this is how you are going to drive a car, this is how you're going to put the gear or clutch or handle the steering and all. End of the day, you might feel satisfied, of course, yes, we have learned something from this particular thing, but end of the day, when you sit on the driver's seat, then only you'll come to know the real problem, that real suffocation what you face. Because at the very first time when you're driving, we'll be very taking very carefully, looking at the mirrors and thinking like what will happen, right? To remove that particular fear from your mind, these RT classes are very much helpful, where we are going to discuss few of the things which are related to your real-time SOC environment part. Okay, so not in terms of hands-on experience, not in terms of learning the tools. Learning the tools and technology, of course, yes, industry loves the person who is doing that particular thing, but yes, there is never end to that particular part. So back in when we started our journey, okay, trust me, guys, if you are able to just tell what is the full form of IDS and IPS, used to get selected for a typical interview. That much level of what we call, there was nothing called as exposure in the field of SOC at that particular moment. Everything was just like you tell about, you speak about SOC something else, you tell us what is SIM, you used to get selected for a typical interview. There is nothing group discussion. There is nothing called as entry level test or second test and all. No, 1 or 2 rounds of interview, you get selected. Okay, that much level of exposure or less exposure was there back in that particular older days. But now, over the period of time, the SOC interviews have got matured enough. Okay, where even though everything you have something called as hands-on experience, ultimately you are the ones who are going to speak about those things, right? In these RTA classes, okay, basically we want you to get your job ready, where you need to work towards hunting for the particular job, take you closer to reality. What is the reality, guys? If I ask a question, if I ask a simple question, how do you handle a malware alert? What will be your answers? And one thing, guys, today is not a kind of technical class. Okay, I'm not going to speak about the technical concepts or technical discussions over here. It's all about your interview preparation part and all. Okay, just focus on your interview preparation skills or your soft skills which you want to develop. So if I ask a question, how do you handle a malware? What will be your answer? How are you going to start your answer being a working professional?
First of all, we isolate the system, then check the log analysis, and check the AV is update or not, patches is done or not.
Hmm. Then after,
date and time,
okay,
and um, client IP, and then file name, file path, and firewall action.
okay, then after,
We need to set lab, and from lab we need to using certain tools, we need to do analysis part, then we need to decide what need to do.
well, what are the steps you carry out in that lab?
If the malware is coming from the email, we can open that email in that lab and test whether it is exploit, what happened, and check the IP like source. What we use remedy for that, and
Hmm. Do you think like what all you said, most of you guys, the answers are well and good. If you get these kind of questions in an interview, it's a very simple, frequently asked, straightforward question. How do you handle a malware alert? What do you think, guys? Did you answer it in a well and structured manner? If you are going to answer in a similar manner, will the interviewer get satisfied with your answers?
no,
If you are an interviewer, do you think like the answers which your friends gave, is it okay or not?
no,
No, right? So basically
yeah,
what we did, so there is no structure for our answer. There is nothing called a starting point, ending point, the flow. For example, I hope everyone watched KGF 2, right? I thought not everyone, like most of you have watched the KGF 2 movie or any other movie, right?
Yes. Yes, yes.
Probably yes. Not KGF 2. If any other movie of your own choice you would have watched. Consider, consider the start of the movie. You would have put it. You have taken that part, put it at the last, and the climax will be brought at the first, and the fighting scene is at the last. If I do like mix masala of all these different parts of the movie, how it looks like? Will you like the movie? Will the movie goes in a proper manner?
no,
Why? What is the reason?
it's not in order.
Right, so it is not in order. There is See, when I mix match everything, there is nothing called as a proper order. There is nothing called as a proper flow for that particular part. Then only we'll start missing out that particular the overall gist of that particular answer. So that is the reason, if this question has been asked to me, how do you handle a malware alert, what will be the answer? So basically, in our company, okay, we used to see on an average 2 to 3 different malware alerts we used to trigger every day. So out of which, whenever a malware alert triggers, okay, I used to follow 3 different steps. The very first step is all about information gathering or data enrichment. Second part is all about analysis. Third part is all about the recommendation. In the information gathering part, I used to gather all the information related to that particular malware alert, like who is the user, IP address, malware name, malware category, file path, antivirus action, okay, malware category, so file size, okay, date and time. Okay, once I collect all these different information related to that particular malware infection, so then after, based on the malware, what is the antivirus action, okay, whether the antivirus has been deleted or not deleted, I used to set the priority of that particular malware alert, then start doing my analysis part. In the analysis part, what I used to do is all about, initially I used to look for, okay, so initially I used to look for a hash value, submit it to any of the online threat intel platform, so get more information related to that particular hash value, whether the malware is what sort of malware it is, what is the threat score of that particular thing, so to which other domains or file it has been it is trying to correlate. I used to collect all this information. So then after, by observing the file path, I used to figure out what was the entry channel for that particular malware, whether the malware has entered through our email or through our website or through any of our typical any other USB or external storage devices. If it is through the other USB part, I used to educate the user not to inject these kind of malicious external storage devices. If it is through the email, I used to further investigate through my email logs. Okay, so all else by email security, so I used to look for who is the sender of the particular email, which all are they, any other users have received the similar email. So then after, is there any attachment downloaded, okay, I used to check all these things for my email logs. If the malware was from a website, okay, which all the, I used to check the DNS logs to which all the websites the user has visited from the last 4 hours. So then after, block that particular, what we call the particular website which the user has visited. So then after, I used to check with the use of the malware name also, okay, so or what we call the file name. By observing the file name, okay, we can figure out what was the intention of a particular user who was visiting that particular malicious website or through email. So then in the recommendations part, if the malware has entered to the email, okay, I used to suggest to the email security team to block that particular sender of the particular email and verify who other users of our company has received the similar email, and taking the permission of them to remove that particular mail from the mailbox of that particular user. If the malware has entered to the website, we used to suggest our networking team to block that particular website from further visiting, so that will ensure that there is no further malicious infection. And also we used to check what are the threat logs that have been originating from that particular user machine, because we can observe there is a already the infection observed from that particular user machine. So to limit the scope of infection, we used to list check verify that particular any threat logs are originating from that particular user machine. If it is from the storage devices, educate the user not to inject any sort of external storage devices into the office laptops or office devices, so that it might be a prone to a typical attack or infections. Okay, this is how we are going to handle a malware alert. So then after, once I dump all this information in my ticketing tool, I used to add the logs or screenshot of the threat intel platform as a part of evidence to my ticketing tool. Okay, so once all these things is done, we used to initiate on-demand scan activity on any sort of user machine, just to ensure that there is no further malware observed, or there is no copy of the malware present on the user machine. So this is how, once the scan is initiated and done and completed, so we used to analyze the results or scan results also, just to ensure that there is no further infection or there is no further malicious process that has been running. So this is how I'm going to handle a typical malware alert. So then after I used to assign the particular ticket to the concerned team. If it is to the email, first I used to assign it to the email team to block the sender, then to the endpoint security team. If it is to the website, I used to assign it to the networking team first, then to the endpoint security team. Okay, this is how I'm going to assign a typical ticket. Okay, so this is how you're going to handle a malware alert, guys. What do you felt? So what do you felt with the difference? I'm not telling like I answered in a very well manner, but observe the structure and flow of this particular answers. Right? I covered each and every aspect of a typical answer when someone question you, how do you handle a malware alert? Right? But what you answered is also right. But there is nothing called as a structure for the particular answer. This is what is required in your learnings, guys. Okay, we know everything. Okay, we know everything, but we don't know how to put in front of the table, or we don't know how to represent ourselves. Then it's of no use. Okay, so think of it, guys. For example, you have a wonderful product. Okay, but if you are unable to showcase or represent it in front of the customer, will your product win in a particular market area?
No.
Right? So execute some task that you would do in your particular job. Okay, so basically in terms of reading up the documents or watching out the videos, okay, all these things, okay, will make your particular real-time task easier to understand and analyze and explain to a typical interviewers. Helps you carrying the confidence and the right mindset in the interview. This is what is required, guys. Everyone is having a technical knowledge in your mind. Okay, right now you're filled with technical knowledge, but carrying that particular right confidence and the right mindset is what is major part missing in your particular interviews. Right? So if you have this particular thing in your mind, so definitely it will be very much helpful and easier for you to win at or crack any sort of interviews. Right? Got the point? Guys,
Yeah.
the more you speak, it will be helpful for me to discuss much more things. Right? You need not to worry. Okay, so you can unmute and you can speak out. Just treat me as one of your friend who is helping you to understand all these concepts. Okay, not a trainer. Okay, just a mentor who is helping you out to crack a typical interviews. Right? Ultimately, remember, guys, everyone is having one commitment to get a job. Right? The problems behind that are thousand. Okay, some of you are having the personal, some of you are having the financial, social. Okay, there are many other problems. Just to think of the way what made you over here. Okay, so everyone is having that particular thing in the mind. We need to start our career, we need to do like that, we need to do like this and all. Okay, hoping on that particular part. Don't lose confidence, don't lose that particular interest towards hunting for the job. Even though sometimes you might feel this is tough for me, this is not understandable for me, give it some time. Okay, so time heals everything. Just look back at one or two situations in your life which you felt I never going to do that, but yes, today you have come across to those situations. This is one such kind of a wave. Okay, problems are exactly equal to waves. Okay, they come over and over again sometimes, so they are very hectic, sometimes they are very normal. Okay, just because the waves are there, the ships never stop sailing. Okay, we should be a kind of ship, right? So basically hoping on that particular part, don't focus towards getting the success. Hard work is the ship's energy who is going to give a propeller, right? So expectations, so very intensive, complete the assignments on the daily basis without miss. Okay, you might feel like till date every day we used to listen up to technical classes. Sir, what are you telling? Like you are telling a lot of other stuff and all. That is what it is, guys. I don't want to stress much of the technical things, right? I'm not a kind of technical guy. Okay, so even though I'm, yes, but yes, I don't want to stress in my training a lot of technical things. You have read about the technical things. Your three different trainers have focused on your technical things. Your cyber genies have focused on technical things. Okay, so your mock interviews or your everything is focused on your technical things. But tell me at one situation where you have worked upon your interview skills. At any point of your interviews or at any point of your journey at SOC Experts, have you focused on interview preparation? Anyone thought about it? Yes, I'm reading about all this stuff, but how am I going to represent these things? How am I going to reproduce all these things in front of a typical interviewer? Anyone thought about these things?
No.
Why? Because all these days, only thing, the only notion we carry, if I read more, if I have that particular exposure more, if I learn these things more, I'm going to crack an interview. But no. Okay, if I know each and everything, okay, the best example I can give is, okay, just a casual ones. When you go to a supermarket, you buy perfume. On what basis you are going to buy a perfume, guys?
Smell.
Okay, one factor. Apart from that,
Brand.
brand, smell of what we call fragrance.
Good
Apart
one.
from that, sorry.
Good one. Good.
Okay, good ones. Okay,
Price.
price.
Package and advert.
Sorry,
Packaging and advert.
packaging. Okay, anything else? Basically, when you go to a supermarket, you'll be having around 10-20 brands that are available on that particular part, okay, so which you want to buy in. So basically out of 10, 15, 20 brands, if you want to pick one particular perfume out of that particular row, okay, so there should be something specialty about it, right? So probably, as most of you said, in terms of pricing, as in terms of fragrance, as in terms of the representation. Okay, for example, what I will do is, my perfume company is the best or number one in the world. Okay, but we are very weak in terms of packaging and also very weak in terms of representing. Okay, we don't use the fancy bottles, we don't use the fancy colors or designing on the particular wrappers and all. We don't do that. What we do, we just take a normal bottle, fill it up with our very high end embedded the perfume liquid into that particular thing. Will I be able to sell much of the things against those products who are focused on marketing things? My
No.
product
You
is the
cannot.
best. My product is the best. It is number one in the world. But there is nothing called as packaging, or there is nothing called as bottle representation. Nothing is there. It's just a plain simple bottle. Fill it up, present over there. But other brands, even though they are dummy in that particular part, but yes, in terms of fragrance, they're beating me. Yes, in terms of representation, they are beating me. Yes, in terms of how the bottle is designed, we are very weak on that. Will I be able to get more sales in that particular part?
No, you don't get.
No.
Right?
You won't
we,
get.
we may not be able to get attraction because people might not recognize us. The only people who have used our product, they might know that, okay, so this is a very well product, we need to come back again. But to attract the customers, okay, we are lagging in all those different aspects, right? In a similar manner, you guys also, as of now, in a similar stage where you are very good in terms of technical things, you are very good in terms of knowing the things, but yes, you are failing in terms of representing yourself, right? Presenting ourselves, it's just like a sales kind of thing. Okay, I think most of you heard about, like, or you come across the situation of the sales where a sales guy will come to your home, he will be elaborating you in a very different in a fictional manner. Ma'am, this product is too good, madam. It can remove the stains in matter of 5 minutes. You need to put down only 5% of the powder what you use, and this is a long lasting ones and all. Just like that, they try to mesmerize us with different words by elaborating or explaining about that particular product. That is what the job of a sales guy is. Likewise, even over here also, presenting yourself in front of a typical interviewer by showcasing what all the powers you have, what are the strength you have, what are the things you have read, these presentation skills is ultimately equal to making you get a job, right? That's how we are going to get success in that particular part. Ultimately, I want you to think about it, guys. Okay, the question or the slide which you're observing right now. Okay, I want answers from you. Think about your own profiles. I don't want a generic answers like I need to prepare on, I need to improve on these things or improve on these things. No. With regards to your own profile, sir, if I do these three steps in the next 20 days, I'm going to get a job. What are those three steps?
First one is prepare for interview.
It's a generic one. Prepare for interview contains a lot of aspects. Think about your own profile. Sir, I'm lacking over here. I need to do this. I'm lacking in communication skill. That is a problem from my end. You might be having wonderful communication, but you have missed some of the classes. That part you need to recover back.
Preparing
Communication,
for
confidence. Yes.
yeah, preparing for scenario based questions.
Okay.
We have to
Confidence.
learn representation lines.
Presenting yourself. Okay. Three steps. What are the three steps to your goal? Just think like if I do these three steps, I'm going to get a job. That is the only answer I need.
First, go through the resume which you have created and like prepare what and all you have mentioned in your resume first. Then we can like learn apart from that what we need.
Okay. Apart from that.
Now, first prepare your resume learn what and all you have mentioned in your resume. And after that, like if you need any extra uh, steps or any other things to be learned, we can learn that.
Okay. How about others? What are those three
For
steps for you?
me, main problem is convincing my notice period, 90 days off. So nobody accepts that.
Okay.
And
Apart from that.
first is technical things like technical knowledge, and the second part is like how to convey to the interviewer. For example, if you ask something, if we will be knowing the answer, like we'll not be knowing how to convey that technical things in to the point. How to answer to the interview and portraying ourselves.
Superb. So don't you think like what all the things you are telling right now, was it not the part of your journey in the last 6 weeks? Yes or no?
Yes.
At least somewhere else it was touched. At least
Yeah.
story building, communication, or else what all the other things you said? Like with all those excuses, what are you are giving for your own profiles, or convincing the 90 days of notice period, or else it might be any other different thing. Don't you think like the ways or at least there is a touchdown made for all those steps, right? Some of you said that's appreciated, most of you are responding, but some of you are keeping yourself quiet. Okay, just to speak out to your friend, at least I can help out for you to crack an interview. That is my honest help I can say about. Basically, remember guys, according to me, what you are missing: learning the technologies, getting the interview calls, clearing the interviews. This is the three step for anyone's success in this particular part. Down the line, now what are these three things you mentioned right now is all the excuses that is given for yourself for doing not a thing. Okay, the best example, going to the gym, right? We go in the energy, we take a 3 months, a 6 months, 1 year subscription from the particular gym. First day with a very lots of hopes and energy, we go to the gym, come back. Second day or third day, we'll be having the muscle cramps, we'll be having a ache on our body. Just think like, okay, let us rest for a couple of days, then we can go back again so that the act will be went off. Then after the festival comes, then after your friend comes and ask you for a go to the trip, so then after you have some family functions, then after you went on sleep and 2 3 days or 2 3 days you forgot to go to the gym. This is how the gym subscription will go on for most of us. Okay, I'm not I'm telling about myself and some of my friends who are like me, but some others might be very serious about the particular physique. This is how we spend our gym subscription. Okay, we have everything, but after 3 months, after 4 months, if you go to the gym person and tell and ask him, boss, I have not reduced the weight and all those stuff, what is the reason behind that? If can you ask this question to that person?
No.
No.
Why?
No, we should not.
We can't ask him like that, right? He will tell like, Surya, we have given you the subscription for 3 months or 6 months. Boss, you do whatever you want in coming to the gym. You are going to lift the weight, you are going to run, you are going to skip, you are going to die, or you are going to rise again. Whatever you want, you do, and remove your weight from your body. Just because you have a subscription, that doesn't mean your weight is going to reduce, right? So ultimately you are going to, you are the ones who's going to go and perform over there, right? So that is how the things are. Now the reasons what you are giving is just like, you have been subscribed or you have been registered for the gym, not going to the gym, but end of the day coming back and telling, my weight didn't got lost anything, not even 100 grams have been lost from last 1 month. What might be the reason you're thinking like that, even though I have a subscription for the gym, right? So that is the reason most of the times we have everything, but we focus on very little things, right? So it is important for your life also, life lesson also. Okay, so just like that, so what we are going to do is focus on these three things: learn the technologies, getting the interview calls, clearing the interviews. These are all the three main steps what you want to focus on. Apart from this, what all the things, stories or story building, or it might be learning the different things and all, everything you have given an opportunity and you have done that, right? So that is the reason, don't have a particular exception in your mind. Okay, it is just like, still we need some stories, still we need some real time experience, still we need some hands on experience. Yes, of course, yes. Okay, so at when and where required part of your trainings, okay, we are going to provide you that particular part, but ultimately what are the hands on experience you have, everything has to be conveyed vocally, right? Prepare for typical interviews. 75% of learning your technologies is already completed. Okay, we know that XOR is remaining, and apart from that, a few of the RT related concepts are remaining. Okay, apart from that, all your basics, your Splunk part, Splunk to the admin level, log source onboarding, and all those stuff are over. Analysis part is over. Build your own SOC is over. That hunting is over. MITRE attack is over, right? 75% of your technical concepts are over. Okay, any of the technical concepts miss, do let me know, guys. Okay, you can drop the message. Okay, we can have the session on that. Getting the interview calls, CV, job portals, and LinkedIn. Okay, how many of you guys, your CVs, your Naukri or LinkedIn's are completed? I need a honest answer over here. Okay, don't try to impress me. So how many of you guys, these three things are over?
Mine. Pooja.
Superb.
I have
My my
completed Nivedita.
my my
Superb.
CV and Naukri is over, but LinkedIn is not over because in our organization there is no SOC
Yeah, I
analyst.
can understand. You'll be
And
having a
what?
close connections and you can't
Yeah,
mask the
colleagues are.
particular thing over there. Well and good, no problem, sir. So just like that, when you have completed all those stuff, okay, that's really great about you guys. Okay, most of you have done that particular thing, but how many of you attended the interviews?
I have attended two.
Okay,
Have attended.
remember guys, from this particular batch, I think almost 4 offer letters are there from this particular batch, right? Already,
I think, yeah, four.
right? If your friend was able to get that particular job, who started the journey at the same day, at the same time, every day, why can't you? That is my simple question. We are not anything special for them. We are not help them anything special for them. What is given to you, the same thing was given to them also. How was they, or how are they going to got success, early success in this particular batch? Within completing the 6 weeks or fifth week of the training, if there are 4 offer letters. That is a wonder what the people have done, right? If they are having that particular capability or ability to do that, why can't you guys will be able to do that particular thing? Do you lack in capability, or do you lack in anything else? No, we all did the same thing, but how come they are able to get the success? Right? So that is the reason clearing the interviews, give as many as mock interviews, discuss about the technical topics, activities, and stories. These stories is what is just a life inflated for all your typical answers. This is what I'm going to take it up by tomorrow's class. Okay, tomorrow's session is all about build the stories. Okay, what we call as build stories. How you need to build the stories in a typical interview, how you need to mask yourself, and all this stuff is what we are going to discuss about these things in the next couple of days, right? So this is the reason, according to me, if anyone is doing these 3 steps, okay, definitely they are going to get a typical job. Okay, not within 4 or 5 weeks, even in early also you will be able to get that particular job, guys, right? So this is the reason, guys, trust me, remember, you have that particular wonderful energy in yourself, but you have that much of excuses who is pushing yourself from getting the particular job. Once you get a job, no one else can stop you. I can't come like and tell like what Sumit has to do, what Kedar has to do, what Deepak has to do, what Pooja or Nivedita, what you are supposed to do. I can't come and tell at that particular moment. You know how to swim, you know how to swim the ocean and reach out to the particular seashore, right? So that is the reason, as of now, what all the reasons you said, okay, interview, communication, confidence, your CV, that, this, and all, just think all these are the excuses that have been given to yourself. Okay, all these are excuses given to yourself. Okay, so that is the reason, never ever be bound with all those excuses what you are giving off. Okay, there is something called as outside the boundary, right? So a person when do we call a 6 in a cricket match? When do we call the 6 in the cricket match? When the ball hits the fence outside the particular boundary, correct?
Yes, through the air.
Through the air, if it is reaching out to the boundary through the air, okay, so directly hits the particular boundary. Okay, as of now, you're trying to hit 4 ones and twos. Okay, just pitching the ball here and there and all. But when you want to ultimately give out a bigger score, when you want to give out a bigger task, ultimately you have to hit 6 and 4. All this, only these two things will be able to do. How many, if you just keep on hitting ones and twos for every ball, will you be able to get a huge score? Ultimately, how many balls are there? So for those many balls, those many runs will be equivalent. Okay, 100 balls equal to 100 runs, or 102 or 103 runs. But there's the same thing, if you're going to hit 6 and 4, probably can reach to 200, 200, 230, 240, 250. Okay, all these things are possible. Just like that, even over here itself, you need to think outside the boundary limit. Okay, you are limited by your thoughts, you are limited by your excuses what you are giving right now. Some of you might be telling like, sir, my office stuff is very hectic. Okay, so the moment when I finish off the class and to run to offices and come back by 9 o'clock, afterwards I'm having some time to spend with the family or have a good sleep, and again and to woke up in the morning by 7 o'clock to listen your classes and all. How come I'm able to do this? Yes, okay, we can understand the problem, right? That is also one hectic thing schedule what you're bound with or what you're limited bit with, but ultimately make some time. Okay, so when we do something new in your life, okay, it will take a lot of efforts from us, it will suck up the lot of efforts from us, but we need to be prepared for it, but we need to ensure that we are justifying that particular cause out of it. There is a cost for everyone joining this particular SOC experts. Okay, someone it might be personal, someone it might be financial, someone it might be anything else. Okay, justify that particular thing, right? So what is the ultimate guide for transitioning to cybersecurity career? This we had already given you the thought in the very first day of joining at SOC Experts, but yet I want to remember once again what all the things are possible in this particular part. Right, so the very first part is all about explain for 30 minutes every day, okay, to improve your cybersecurity fluency. Explain what you learned in the class, right? So by explaining, what is this particular explain, why are we stressing a lot on explain? Because if you read, you're not preparing. If you read, you are not helping yourself to get a job. The more you speak, you are near to your job. Remember, the more you speak, you are very near towards getting the job, right? Every day, make a habit of speaking out for, or what we call explaining for 30 minutes related to this particular cybersecurity. Okay, inculcate the words which we use, explain the concepts which you learned in the class so that it will be very much helpful. Second part is all about explore. What is this explore? Explore the field of cybersecurity. This will help in transitioning you from cybersecurity student to cybersecurity professional. Okay, being a professional or what we call a person in the industry, you should be aware of what all the things are running in this particular part. For example, okay, when do you call a person as a car expert? When do you call a person as a car expert?
Like when you know everything about car and
What
like
is
what all
happening over
the
there, or else
latest
it
updates.
latest updates, or else it might be each and every aspect of that particular car industry. You're going to call him as a car expert, political expert, politics expert. Okay, all these things are there, right? So just like that, when you are supposed to be called as an industry expert in the SOC, you should be aware of what all things are running over here. Okay, so if you're the more you read out, the more you get explored. Okay, so then you will be transitioning from a particular student to a particular professional. Okay, so the moment when you join SOC experts, you are a student. The moment when you're leaving the SOC experts, you should be a cybersecurity professional. That is what we are trying to achieve over here, right? Read 3 articles every day: attacks, MSSP news, acquisitions, new technologies in the cybersecurity, how they are running, what they are running, which company got attacked by which particular malware, how this particular attack will happen, everything. So you are supposed to be aware of those things, right? So the next step is all about enact. Spend 1 hour everything every day doing things a cybersecurity professional does, just like explaining about a report. Okay, giving a walkthrough about or explaining the analysis to any of your friend. Okay, documenting a typical type of analysis, analyzing a typical raw log. Okay, all these things, the moment when you do all these things, okay, it will boost your confidence, it will build your particular confidence, and also like it will give you the particular activity based thing, like okay, this is what the thing will be doing in the real time. It will start building up your particular confidence level. Okay, so that is the reason this triple E is very much helpful in your journey. Right, so most of the times, the more you explain, the more you explore, the more you enact. Okay, so it will give you the different level of understanding in your typical journey. 3 job descriptions of any of these rules. What is the use of it, guys? How will it be helpful if I read 3 job descriptions every day?
We will understood about the roles.
Helps to understand job roles.
Okay, so if I understand the job role, what will be my helpful in that particular part?
We will get to know like what to study and what topics are common in many job descriptions, so we can prepare for better.
Okay. So basically, remember, when you read the different job descriptions, you'll come to know the different requirements of the company. What is the common factor in each and every JD? Most of the times, okay, so you have read about the JD, and will you be getting the same questions as in your job description? Okay, so as per my experience, the answer is no. Okay, just because we have something called as a job description, will I be getting the same questions? The answer is no. Okay, but yes, it will try to understand what will be the requirement from a typical company. So that is the reason every day read at least 3 job descriptions. To read this 3 job description, you doesn't need 1 hour or 2 hour or 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Okay, so what ultimately is required is all about while you're traveling in a bus or while you're busy in your office work and all. So just open any of the Naukri or any of the profile that has been posted, open and read for 10-15 minutes and try to understand what their requirement is all about, right? So whatever the time is, you are doing at any point of the day, okay, just you can take out 10-15 minutes from that particular day and you can invest in learning about these things, guys, right? So that is the reason, read that again and again, again and again, so that it will be helpful for you to understand this is what the company is requiring for. Okay, you will be in track. For example, so we have selected you as a cricket player, and afterwards, when you come to the real match, and we are asking you to play the football, how will it looks like? You might feel totally confused, right? Boss, you said I'm a cricket player. I'm supposed to play a cricket match. Why are you asking me to play the football, right? So that's why. So you are supposed to read these job descriptions. Make a list of 2 to 3 friends who are working in SOC or any cybersecurity field. Some of you guys have like might have friends or family members, your dear ones who have been working in the SOC and they would have referred you. So just try to connect with them and ask them how was their day, what are the things they are doing over there, how are the things they are building upon those stuff, right? So make a list of 2 to 3 friends who are working in the SOC or any cybersecurity field. So talk to them weekly twice for 15 minutes. Ask them in this week, which is the incident you handled, even though if it is simplest of the simplest, okay, which will get finished in 1 or 2 minutes, just ask them. You'll get to know, okay, so what level of exposure they have, what are the things you have. And also one thing, you can record those activities and just tell them you have done those things. If he says like I prepared report today morning and sent it to my client and explain those stuff, you can also do the same thing, right? If you don't have that particular friends and all, what you can do, just reach out to any of your LinkedIn connections who is your alumni of SOC experts and ask them, this is activity given to me, so that is the reason I'm taking your help or approaching you for the further guidance. Please help me in a week. If I speak with you for a couple of times for 15 minutes, please give me any point of your free time, right? So make a friend of them, take the help from them, so get the things learned from that particular person. Okay, so make a diary of these activities so that at the end it will be helpful for you to explain all this stuff.
Sir, excuse me, what is the job role of the SOC engineer?
Ultimately everything boils down to the same thing, right? SOC engineer, SOC L1, it's just like giving the destinations are totally different, right? For example, when you go to the every company, so do they work in a similar manner? Like for example, TCS, Mindtree, Capgemini, Cognizant, these companies are service based company. Do these service based companies work in a similar manner?
No.
No, right? Some for the same role, for the same job thing, they'll give the designation as something else. in Cognizant. They'll give something else in this particular TCS, right? Because their own work culture. Just like that, SOC engineer or L1 SOC analyst, okay, everything boils down the same thing of L1 security analyst roles itself. Monitor the dashboard, analyze a typical alert, creation of a report, creation of a dashboard, and monitoring of a typical dashboards, shift handovers, follow up on the particular tickets. Okay, so doing this particular threat hunting exercise, all these things are normal part of your job role, just like L1 engineer or else it might be L1 analyst, both are same. Okay, so some companies they have different designations according to the different roles they'll be expecting upon. Okay, I can't say like engineer will be doing only this stuff, right? Because they'll be asking you to do this particular monitoring, reporting, and all those stuff will be the normal part of these things. Got the point?
Yes.
Sure. What is the interview breakdown? If you're preparing for a typical interviews, in which particular part, or what is the preparation angle for your interviews in terms of technical things? Self introduction, networking concepts, security, solutions, cyber attacks, SIM, alert analysis and incident response, SOC process, knowledge of recent developments. This is how you are supposed to prepare for your typical interviews. Why am I marked self introduction, cyber attacks, alert analysis, and incident response in a bolder manner? Any idea or guess?
Very commonly asked.
Okay, apart
So
from
those
that,
points we need to focus more.
Get the idea about the candidate communication and some of technical part, how they analyze and acknowledgement regarding cyber attack in security related field.
okay, sorry. Then after, when you look at these three concepts or these three entities, what do you feel? Self introduction, cyber attacks, alert analysis, and incident response. Okay, let me explain. In an every interview that we give or that you give, okay, related to this particular SOC, you can expect the most frequent questions on these three parts. Self introduction is just like the question paper got leaked, guys. Okay, self introduction, cyber attacks, alert analysis, and instant response. On these three parts, you can expect the most common questions in every interview that which you gave, right? So that is the reason we have marked on in a bolder manner. Okay, so always remember, guys, while you're preparing for a typical interviews, most of the times there is something called as a zone. In the first zone they'll ask about self introduction, so then after they'll start asking about the basics part. Okay, so it's all about checking your basic knowledge, okay, your foundational knowledge. Okay, ask about OSI layer, DNS, DHCP, VPN, ports, protocols. Okay, so CIA, AAA, security concepts, and all the stuff. So then after they want to check whether you are aware of security related kind of stuff and all. Okay, they will ask about what is the firewall, why IDS or IPS is required, what is a WAF or EPO or any other things. So then they will focus on this particular cyber attacks. Okay, whether you are aware of these cyber attacks or not, and all those stuff. Then the main technology of the your learnings, SIM tool. They're going to start asking about what is a SIM solution, how are you going to use it, or how it is used and all. You're going to learn about it. So then focus on alert analysis and incident response. where you are going to learn much of the things about what we call how do you handle a typical alert, how do you analyze a typical alert. Okay, so what are the SOC processes that are there. Okay, knowledge of recent developments. Okay, at the end they want to check how well you are updated in the industry. Okay, so whether you are in terms of log4j or in terms of any other recent vulnerability which got outblasted. Okay, this is how the entire flow of your interview will be going upon. It is just like starting from the basic, advancing towards the SOC, then going up to the two advanced or what we call normal day-to-day activities. Okay, they start with the basics part, then they come up to your SOC related kind of stuff. So then they ask about what are the day-to-day activities that you're supposed to carry out. They just evaluate whether you are aware of those things or not. So then after they'll ask how well you're updated yourself. Okay, this should be your interview preparation. Okay, every time when you go for a typical interview, when you think like we're preparing for an interview, prepare in this chronological order itself. Okay, it's not like randomly I prepare or anything, so I just come back and do that particular thing. No. Okay, prepare in this particular order itself so that it will be helpful for you to remember the things very much easily. Sometimes in the interview they might not ask anything on the basics. They might directly jump on, tell me how will you handle a malware alert. Even that is possible, but yes, if you are read or if you are practiced in this particular flow, it will be easier if you get the questions on any part of this particular things or flow. Got the point?
Yes.
Superb. Okay, so the next part, and most of you guys having this particular question, self introduction. Can anyone explain about yourself or tell me about yourself? Just a sample kind of thing. Anyone who thinks I'm prepared for it, you can go ahead with that particular part. Can you introduce yourself? Just you can take down as a reference also. Or else let me give you 5 minutes of time. Okay, I will give you 5 minutes of time right now. The format is in front of you. Okay, there are 6 different steps: name, experience, current company, one liner role, previous companies, expertise, exposure, why you're looking for a change, and sample is there. Okay, everything is there. Take 5 minutes of time, put your information, put your name, put your company, everything feed up to this particular thing and replicate, try to replicate the same thing. Okay, I can pick any random person from this particular group. Okay, so now the time is exactly 8:10. Okay, so by 8:15, okay, or take down 6 to 7 minutes. Okay, so by 8:17, prepare your self introduction and you need to explain me about it. Clear? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Sure. By 8:17 we'll be back. Hi guys, welcome back. I hope everyone there. No one else left. Guys, there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. How about others? They're on the call.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Who wants to go? Anyone wants to explain about your self introduction part? Format is in front of you, pointers are in front of you. Just you need to fill your words, just you need to fill your story into that particular part, right? If you are doing the mistake also, no problem guys, we are in a phase of learning. There is no one superior or there is no one master over here. Just it's a casual part of your discussions. Any answers? No one?
Okay, I'll try.
Yes sir, give it a try. That's a good spirit. Come on sir.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rahul. So I totally have around 5.8 years of experience in IT, out of which last 1 year I'm working in MSI team. So
Mhm.
I'm currently working in HCL technology as a specialist. So it's a shared service delivery where I'll be responsible for all onboarding various log sources to Curator.
Mhm.
Uh, so like before joining HCL, I worked in CSS Corp and HGS, Hinduja Global Service, as a senior engineer and customer relation officer.
Mhm.
Uh, so currently, I'm as I said, working in QRadar, where I'll be doing implementation. I've gained knowledge in log source integration and various known issues during the integration. I've worked with some of the tools like QRadar, Splunk, Palo Alto Firewall, and I've undergone training on malware analysis and threat hunting.
Mhm.
So, so considering the current trend, I've developed interest on SOAR, so which I'd like to learn more on it. And uh, apart from that, I'm currently looking for a job change in order to get more exposure and to grow in my career also. So that's about me.
Oh, well and good. Anyone else want to give it a try? Anyone else? Okay, let me take it down. Self introduction is a one important part or the very first impression that you're going to create on an interviewer's mind. Okay, we know that guys, whenever you're going up for a typical interview, you will be under pressure, right? That is agreed, right? Like most of us will be like worried about it. Will I get a job or not? This is my final opportunity. Will I get next call or not? What are the questions the interviewer might ask? What if we ask on this part which I don't know? We'll be having all these things in our mind. Okay, so but yes, when you have all the stuff in your mind, okay, trust me guys, okay, everyone in this world who attends an exam, who gives an interview will be under pressure, including myself, Anand Guru, or it might be any person. Okay, so even all of us are having that particular notion in our mind, right? So that is the reason. So what happens, we need to overcome that particular stigma in that is there in our mind. Okay, so what we need to do, the self introduction, okay, always remember while you're speaking with any sort of interviewer or with any person in a typical interview, there is something called as voice modulation. Okay, for example, the favorite of your song, most of you will be having your own favorite songs, right? If the same song, if you are removing the particular music from that particular song, and if you're listening to the same song, how will how will it feel? Will it be good? Remove all the music, what all the background music is there, what all the music tune has been given, remove everything, just keep the only lyrics with in your hand. And if you listen to the particular lyrics, will it give a good sense to you?
No,
Why?
something
It's just like
needs.
a plain text or a kind of a story, right? So it doesn't have any feelings conveyed through it and all. Like there is no notion conveyed in that particular part. Just like that, even in your answers, okay, if you're answering just like in a one single straight line, without there is no exaggerations, without there is no elaborations, without there is no rise and fall in the dip of your particular answers, so what you will feel, so most of the times you might fail to impress a typical interviewer. It might go in a boring manner. So that is the reason self introduction, the first answer that will be coming out of your mouth, the most common, frequently 200% fixed question in any sort of interview, it has to be an impressive, short, and storied answer. Okay, myself, Suryaveer, I completed my graduation from XYZ college from this particular place. I have in and around 8 years of experience in this particular IT industry working as a security, or what we call working in this particular SOC domain, where I started my journey as a security analyst initially at a company called as Cognizant. So then after where I got a wonderful exposure towards the towards this particular domain first. Okay. So then after I switched to another company called as a TCS, working as a senior information security analyst. So where I handled multiple projects in terms of QRadar or in terms of Splunk and all. Okay, so then after eventually, so as we know that SOAR is the latest technology in the particular market. Okay, so then I got a bit more interested in terms of automation and all. So so then I focused working on it towards the SOAR or SOAR development part with Palo Alto, associated directly with the Palo Alto. So then after I worked as a consultant for 2 to 3 different companies. So where I provided my services to either Accenture or it might be Securonics and also Cognizant, working with a one particular project centric. Okay, this is what my experience is all about. Okay, so basically in my experience I worked with a number of different tools and technologies. It might be like a firewall has Palo Alto, SOAR as Cortex XOR, SIM solution might be Splunk, Logarithm, so and also IBM QRadar. And apart from that, endpoint security tool, it might be XDR or else it might be the McAfee EPO, the EP manager. I have experience on all those stuff, right? So being a L1 security analyst, working with the different clients and handling a typical alerts, analyzing of a typical alerts, a reporting part. So are all these common part of my job roles and responsibilities, which have carried across multiple organizations. So then after I thought of giving a change for my particular journey. So with my last company, where I got a very good opportunity in terms of learning the different tools or interacting with the different clients and projects and all. So then I thought of giving up a change for better exposure or giving a different view for my particular profile. I thought of looking out for a change. So that's why I'm here, sir. Okay, this should be your answer. Keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it informative. Don't just go in like someone else is asking me the question, that's why I need to dump all the information, what are the things I'm aware of. No, we don't do this particular thing. Okay, so always we need to stick on to the particular concepts what we are aware of. Okay, so self introduction, the very first impression that you're trying to create in any sort of interviewer's mind. Okay, so that is the reason you have this particular video also. When you you reach out to YouTube and you have the SOC experts channel, okay, you have this particular what we call Okay, so how to get your first cyber security job quickly. Okay, watch out to this particular video, working professional self introduction and for SOC jobs. Okay, these two videos is must and should. You need to complete it by today itself, guys. Okay, have an answer for out of for all these typical questions, right? So remember, guys, you have everything. Okay, but we are not using it in the right direction. Okay, come out of the excuses whatever you are giving, building up the stories and all. Definitely by tomorrow and day after tomorrow class, I'm going to help you out in terms of building up the stories, how to have the stories in your answers and all those stuff. But yes, okay, I need your full support, I need your full concentration, I need your full energy in terms of understanding the concepts, learning the things, applying. Okay, we have learned all these things in the last 6 weeks, but we're not applying our learnings, right? So that is the reason, start applying all those stuff in your answers. Okay, the more you focus on your answers, okay, the more you focus on your delivery skills, okay, you will be ready made for a typical interviews. Okay, remember guys, interview, it's just a matter of 30 minutes, right? So there is something called as how anyone saw the movie, like how they execute or how they plan for a murder, watched or not? Movies that showcase how the murder will happen, at least any one movie.
Yes.
Okay, is this question that much tough? Like only one person can answer this one?
Robbery is okay.
Okay, when you plan for a robbery or a murder, okay, so I think Rahul is a big fan of robbery movies. Well and good. Okay, when we plan for these kind of things, okay, they will plan the in and out of everything, and when to rob or when to murder. What if I get caught? What should be the backup plan for it? How can I escape from that particular scenario? How can I come out of this particular thing? Each and everything, okay, each and everything, it will be planned. Just like that, even you guys are supposed to plan your typical interviews. I'm going to get the first question. Tell me about yourself. Okay, how am I going to answer it off? Every day for 5 times, reiterate the same tell me about yourself part. You need not disturb anyone, you need not to call someone else. Okay, if you have mirror in front of you, okay, or if you have mobile in your hand, just stand in front of a mirror and explain the same thing. You will learn, trust me, the way that it will improve. Okay, it will be in a very significant manner. Okay, so it's just like improve this particular thing. Next part, keep updated yourself with the latest vulnerabilities, latest attacks and all those stuff. Then come back to your preparation related to technical stuff, in terms of how to handle a malware alert, how do you handle a phishing alert. Okay, all these things, the more you prepare on all these different things, okay, it will be helpful for your further learnings, right? Prepare the best. Okay, ultimately the preparation, it's ultimate time for showdown. Okay, for example, we have shooted the movie for 6 months, right? So we have shoot the movie for 6 months, and if you're not able to edit it, and if you're not able to present in front of the particular viewers, okay, so will the movie get success? The answer is no.
Mhm.
Why? Because if the movie is not up to mark, if the movie is not edited in that well structured manner, no one else is going to watch the movie, right? So now it's time for your editing. Okay, 6 weeks is all about the movie you shot, about your own self, about your own knowledge and all the stuff. Now it's time for reframing your typical answers, right? So that is the reason, practice more and more, raise as many mock requests as possible. Okay, so most of the times these mock interviews are the biggest helpful for your success, right? If you fail in mock interview, there is something called as once more second chance for that particular part. But if you fail in real time interview, there is nothing called a second chance. For example, for the interviewer, you can't come and tell, sorry sir, today there was my brother's marriage, I was not able to prepare, can you give me a call tomorrow? Will we be able to do that?
No.
No, right? It's done and dusted, boss. Whatever you have to do, no. If you are giving up right away with a very good manner, you are in, or else please tata bye bye, right? So that is the reason, remove that interview fearness, remove that interview, what we call the fear you have, improve your confidence, the way you deliver, the practice, everything is equal to your mock request, right? So definitely, okay, so your S3 Puja has helped you a lot in terms of your preparation. So she'll be guiding you, or she'll be asking you the assignments and all the stuff, right? So please do it or complete it without miss. Puja is not doing for her betterment. Puja is not doing for her to get a job. She's helping you to get that particular job and all those stuff, right? So that is the reason. Please follow what all the guidance that will be given by your S3s, or it might be the mock or a magic request and all. They are very much helpful in terms of your preparation part, right? So please make the best use out of it. Okay, got the point, guys? So the today's
Yeah.
assignment is all about, watch out these two videos. Okay, how to get your cybersecurity job quickly, working professional, self introduction, and jobs, right? So when you watch out these videos, okay, when you watch out these videos, ultimately you'll get a point. Okay, so my self introduction should be like this: how should I prepare for this particular self cybersecurity jobs and all those stuff. Okay, the more you prepare, the more you prepare on preparation skills, okay, is what ultimately required for. Okay, got the point? Any doubts or any questions? I hope the session was not boring for you.
Session was good, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it is boring also, do let me know, guys. We can speak about something else, right? So I hope the session was helpful also. Please make the best use out of it, guys. Ultimately, I'm trying to achieve, start attending the interviews. The more you fail, we like you more. Okay, the person who got success, ultimately they got the success and they'll be heading upon. But we like the candidates who fail more, because they are the ones ultimately who knows, on top of these failures, how we can step up and we can get the success, right? Ultimately we want the people who fail and learn, gain, get back. This should be the ultimate goal or myth what you should be having. Okay, so that's all for today's class. Okay, I hope I'm leaving up this particular class with the two thoughts. Okay, so what are the three steps for my interview, or what are three steps for my job? Okay, so if I follow these three steps, I'm going to get the job. Decide these three steps once again, watch out these two videos, and think, how much of time am I investing in getting this particular job? Okay, how much you are justifying to this particular course? What is the level of concentration you have towards this particular course? Okay, please have answers for this particular thing. Not all the assignments are trackable, not all the assignments are accountable, right? Tomorrow, because tomorrow if I come and ask you, so hey, have you thought about this particular thing, what will be your answer? Of course, yes sir, yes sir, we thought about it, yes sir, we did about this. But yes, after this class, most of us remember, we forget about what the things are given up. Okay, but yes, definitely, I'm pretty sure if you are serious about your getting the job, if you're serious about your career, okay, so tomorrow you itself will come and tell to me, sir, I thought about it. I think I'm lacking over here. Trust me, guys, Surya is not your trainer. Okay, I'm not your trainer. I'm one good friend of you. Okay, you can casually consider me as one of your friend. You can ask me any doubts, whatever you want. Okay, so definitely I'm going to help you out. That's my promise. What you ask, I'm going to deliver, and I'm going to complete within the time what I'm given. Okay, so thank you, all the very best. Thanks for this opportunity. Tomorrow we'll meet once again, okay, with our discussion on the stories, story
Sir,
building, and also discussion on stories. Yes, Anmol.
sir, the attendance, please.
Attendance I'm going to initiate. Yes, definitely. Okay, so or else, okay, let me try.
The tools and all everything you will explain, right, sir? The Nessus tool, Nmap and PCAP and all everything, right?
No, sir, Nmap PCAP is not used by SOC analyst, right?
Okay.
Those are all attack related tools. SOC analyst will never use that particular tools, right? Nmap, PCAP, and all. We have initiated your attendance, so you guys can just go and mark your attendance, guys.
So what are the tools, sir, you will cover?
No, sir, I'm not a technical guy. Okay.
So they
So
will
XOR will be
say,
there. XOR
okay.
will be there. So definitely, like, I'm just kidding you out. Basically, like, what are the things that are left over? Okay, with your concept part. Um, I'm going to build. I'm going to speak about your story building part. I'm going to speak about your XOR part, and apart from that, what else? So did we missed in your curriculum,
Nessus?
right? Okay, so this part will consider that part will deliver, and analysis part. Okay, so once again, like, I'm going to give a walkthrough or else simplify the analysis part once again. Anything else we missed from your thing? So that thing also we can ensure to cover it off.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so
Yes. Proof. Do
yes,
we have proof point? It was mentioned like proof point will be taught.
no. Have you mentioned the proof point?
Yeah, 1 minute. I'll share the summary.
Mm-hmm. Your attendance has been initiated. You can mark it down, guys.
What about Palo Alto firewall?
Palo Alto firewall. So if at all, if you're referring for the Palo Alto, we never said like we're going to discuss about Palo Alto firewall, Palo Alto technology, right? Palo Alto is a technology, but in our website, we never mentioned that we are going to do it for Palo Alto, right? Back in the older days, we used to do that, but we didn't find it effective for typical interviews. So we have removed it. And for 67, I don't think we have done that. Okay. Here, do we have the Palo Alto?
Actually, they have mentioned in the first introduction class, these are the tools we are going to cover in the.
Mm-hmm.
So they mentioned about the Palo Alto as well.
I don't think so, but yes, we are going to check that particular part. Palo
Okay.
Alto is not a tool. Palo Alto is a technology, because see, does Honda is having only one brand of cars in the Honda? No, right? They have different sets of car, right? For example, if you go for Audi, so Audi is a brand. Under Audi, there are different cars. Just like that, Palo Alto is a company name. Pan or Palo Alto is a company name. Under Palo Alto, they have different what we call technologies. It might be firewall, IDS, IPS, a switch, routers, source, SIM, XDR, threat intelligence. There are many things are there, right? So this is not, this is the older version, right? So this is the older part what you have referred. Was this used for your what we call the orientation part?
Yeah, actually in orientation they have shared this slide which I have posted.
Uh-huh.
So they mentioned like in tools we have Nessus, Cisco threat response, and proof point.
Actually, this is the older version. Okay, so we have updated. So instead of going up with the technology oriented one, so rather we can focus on other tools, right? So that's your technology. That is not a tool. We are going to speak about the particular tools, right? In terms of Palo Alto, in terms of proof point, it is a technology what we want to introduce, not in terms of tool.
Okay, because I mentioned this in resume, so thought of removing it. Like,
No problem. So if you want, I can explain all those concepts also.
okay.
What is required for, if you have mentioned in the resume, what are the questions you might get and how you need to answer, I can help you out on that particular part. We'll check whether this thing was covered in your orientation part or not. Okay, so if not, we're going to remove that particular part. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank
Sure.
you.
No problem. So any other things? Okay, so just check with your curriculum, guys. Okay, so today, if at all, if what are the things I mentioned, XOR is purposefully kept at the last. Okay, because you need to learn the incident response first, you need to learn SIM solution, then you will come to know the automation part. Directly, if I show automation, then you might ask you the question, sir, how are you going to automate? What is this automation? So that is the reason XOR will come at the last. purposefully. That is a part of the curriculum. X4 part, build your stories part, and apart from that, new tool evaluation. Okay, a part of it. And as you requested, Palo Alto. Okay, so we'll be covering the Palo Alto also in your things. Apart from these things, Nessus also. Okay, one thing Nessus. Apart from these things, anything else, guys? Just check with the curriculum.
Cisco threat response. That's the one.
No, sir. Cisco threat response is not available right now.
Okay.
Apart from this,
And proof point also not there, right? Email gateway.
yes, theoretical one, technology one. Sorry, technology I can say. Palo Alto proof point I can cover it off one day. Apart from that,
Only Snow and Jira will comes under ticketing tools.
no ticketing tool. We can just show you what all things, what all the information we're going to dump over there, right? Jira. Okay, so you're asking about the Jira and another tool.
No, no. In the curriculum overview, they just mentioned about the ticketing tools. So just I need to know what you're gonna cover in that. Whether you are going to cover in this tier 4 or
Ticketing tool, we can give a demo or Freshdesk. Freshdesk is a ticketing tool. We can give a demo out of it. See, every ticketing tool is a same thing. Ticketing tool is not an intelligent tool, right? Ticketing tool is just a tracking tool which we use. It's just like a kind of tracker which we use. It doesn't have any differentiation if you're using Remedy Force, if you're using a Snow, if you're using Jira, it might be anything. That doesn't matter to any of these things, right? We log a ticket, click on create button. That's all it can do. Apart from that, there is nothing intelligent work it can give out to that particular thing. For example, you write a Word document and at the end of the day you save it, right? In a similar manner, in the ticketing tool also, you dump all the information, click on save button. That's all it can do. It can save and it can give a number for that particular thing, which will be used for tracking purpose.
then what will comes under analysis tools?
Analysis tools. So mainly in terms of what we call your virus total, your ticketing tool, and your SIM solution. All this comes under analysis tool itself.
Thank you.
Welcome. Any other different questions? Any other questions? All good?